This is my story about how I reversed my kidney functions and the steps that I went through, the things that I tried, and how well they worked, and what happened to lead me accidentally to find something that actually worked and worked dramatically. And when I say accidentally, I do mean accidentally because I had no idea that what I was doing was going to actually rejuvenate and reverse my kidney function from going into complete failure. In fact, it was something I was doing because of a completely unrelated problem, which I will go into later. But first, let me begin with what I tried in the past with my 3-year battle in keeping my kidney function at least stable and even helping a little bit. When I first found out that my kidneys were failing, they were at a 46 filtration rate, and then 6 months later went down to 37, which wasn't really serious, but it was a big concern because they were in a downward spiral. So I immediately started searching the internet to see if there was something that I could do to prevent me from going into a complete kidney failure. I found 2 things that people were claiming to work, and one was a completely raw vegetable diet and nothing else. The greener, the better. And also another way was to take 1 teaspoon of baking soda 2 times a day for a week, and then after waiting a week, repeat it again. Because I was now terrified of a complete kidney failure, I decided to try both of them at the same time. And after another month, the test showed them back up to 46. Now I was relieved that I could actually do something to help my kidney function. Since then, I eased off and tried to eat at least 1 meal of raw vegetables per day, and also continued with the baking soda, but just once a day. I was able to keep them stabilized, and even though I was not consistent with it, by staying above a 40 filtration rate, until I had a series of CAT scans, which are known to damage kidney function. Knowing this, I continued to be more serious about taking the baking soda much more seriously, and watching my diet again. But they did slip down to a 31 filtration rate. But, thankfully, I was able to improve them again to 38. From what I gather, the reasons that the raw vegetables and the baking soda work is that they are both alkaline, which neutralizes acids away from your kidneys so the kidneys can rest and heal themselves. Because the more acids and proteins that go through your kidneys, the harder they need to work. Then, about a year later, I had another medical problem, which was a bowel backup that led to a complete blockage and led to another surgery. What I did before this last surgery caused a dramatic reversal of my kidney function from just a 38 filtration rate to an amazing 49 filtration rate just 9 days later, and just before my pre-surgery CAT scan. The subsequent test 18 days later was at 46 after this CAT scan. So what I did was obvious to me that I found something else that worked, and maybe even faster. Here's what happened and what I did. I had a partial blockage and had several bouts of not being able to have a bowel movement for days at a time. I went on the internet again to find out what I could do, and it seemed like it would be a good idea to go on a liquid diet to try to clean myself out, or at least not to add any more buildup of the blockage. I included in this liquid diet apple juice to use as a laxative, and I also used 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, which is supposed to relieve intestinal swelling, and a Walmart brand of psyllium fiber, which is the same thing as Metamucil. So between these 3 things, it worked after about 12 hours or so. The other liquids that I used were fruit juices, oranges, and Gatorade. I continued not to eat anything for 3 or 4 days, and then only ate small amounts of mushy foods, like mashed potatoes and some gravy for taste, and pudding and jello. The only solid food that I ate was at breakfast, consisting of 2 eggs and 2 slices of toast. I did this for 8 days. I made a point to stay away from any meats and other things that are hard to digest, like raw vegetables. I really thought that I was okay at first because I was successful in turning everything into a combination of diarrhea followed by some firmer stools. But little did I know that this was a symptom of a partial blockage where liquid was not being absorbed and incorporated into the stools and was instead trailing through the blockage and loosening some impacted stools, which gave me the impression that everything was okay. But it turned out that I was not expelling enough, and the buildup was accumulating until a complete blockage occurred, which sent me to the hospital for an emergency surgery. But before the surgery, and as the ER doctor was sending me to get a CAT scan, I asked the doctor if it was completely necessary as my kidneys are bad. And he told me that the blood test showed that my kidneys were fine, which were tested at 49 filtration rate. I was quite surprised, as my previous test just 9 days before was at 38, and I was not taking any baking soda or eating any raw vegetables during that time, because I knew that raw vegetables are hard to digest and that baking soda neutralizes the stomach acids, which both could cause constipation. So that is my story, and what exactly caused my fast reversal of declining function, I can only guess. I believe it had a lot to do with not eating anything for 3 to 4 days due to taking very little protein and acids, but it could also have been because of the psyllium fiber and the turmeric powder, or a combination of everything. Also, what probably helped maintain a 46 filtration rate after my last CAT scan and after the surgery was the fact that while I was in the hospital, I was not allowed to eat anything for 6 days, nor anything to drink for 4 days, and then for 2 more days only allowed to suck on ice chips. After that, I was only eating bland, mushy foods for another 2 weeks. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section and I will answer them the best that I can. I hope this video helped you, and I hope that you liked it enough to subscribe, as subscribing would be a big help to us, so you'll be able to easily find my other upcoming videos on helpful subjects. And don't forget to click on the thumbs up if you liked the video, and thanks for watching.